So here we are again. Good morning. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your September the 23rd spiritual principle day in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. Okay, the title of it, Planning Keeps Us Accountable. Trusting each other doesn't mean that we reject accountability. We put routines in place to protect ourselves and our trusted servants from the type of mistakes we, as addicts, are liable to make. Guiding Principles, Tradition 12, in service. NA service taught me how to be a responsible, productive member of this society first, a member shared. Doing service gave me skills and knowledge that help me navigate the world outside of NA too. I think of these as the hidden curriculum in NA service. From that perspective, we might consider accountability to be one of the subjects we study. Lessons on accountability begin in our first home group's business meetings and continue as we serve in various roles. One of the first things we learn is that the order of operations is different in NA. We had previous experience with the kind of accountability that comes after we screwed up. In NA, we often focus on setting each other up for success. To avoid missteps, we try to define tasks and spell out expectations up front, and then strive for transparency, communication, and support as we follow through. Having safeguards in place, especially when money or ego might be involved, can help protect our trusted servants and NA. We check our worst impulses in advance and limit openings for errors in judgment. The treasurer, who asks another member to confirm the seventh tradition count, avoids temptation. The subcommittee chair, who keeps the service body informed and regularly seeks direction, is less likely to go rogue or be micromanaged. This kind of preemptive accountability has applications in our personal lives too. Managing medication after surgery involves a relay between multiple members of a support group in many NA communities. Transparency about pill counts protects everyone involved. We can even see accountability's relevance in one member's strategy for staying out of the sack on a first date. I meet them for coffee while the sun's still up and wear my shabbiest pair of underwear. Little reminders can help us live up to whatever standards we set for ourselves. I will seek out guideposts in life and in service to keep me accountable to myself and others. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the wee version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant me the serenity, us the serenity, to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Planning keeps us accountable. I love the way the approach is in this particular meditation. It starts out talking about the group and things that in regards to service, things that we can do to keep ourselves accountable. Have a plan. And the way to have a plan is when we're involving other people is to make the plan, hopefully with the help of other people, or if there's already a written document that gives us guidelines on how to fulfill a certain position. Sometimes you have to make it up as you go, but to involve as many people as possible in making that decision about how things are going to happen, and then to follow that plan and to be transparent when something comes up and needs guidance that's not written into the book, right? Written into the plan, the document. So I think that's very helpful. But I also like how it veers over to, say, a person that's the treasurer, allowing someone else to take count of the seven traditions. So there's an accountability for how much is supposed to be in the seventh tradition. But not only that, what about how we live our lives personally? Are we able to make plans so that we can remain accountable? Or are we individuals that we don't believe in making plans? We go about life haphazardly, never able to agree to meeting up with anyone because we don't know exactly what else might come up, right? That's not accountability. When I think about accounting, I think about the way I was taught in school. One side is a list of all of the things that have to be paid, expenses. Then there's a section for income. And then there's a section for what's been paid. And that results in a running list of what is remaining to be used to pay other expenses. And every day, I would be able to figure out whether I was in the positive or the negative. And I would also be able to look at the bills or the expenses and realize how much more needed to go in to the positive side so that those bills could also be paid on time or at least within the grace period, usually 5 days, right? So I learned that line by line by line by line, there should be a balance. And that's all this is. Planning keeps us accountable. It allows us to remain balanced, not necessarily just with money, but with life. This member here said that one way that they can make sure that they don't end up taking first dates to bed, right? Sleeping with people they barely know, is to make sure that they have a date during the day, right? Meet for coffee when the sun's up and wear their worst, shabbiest pair of underwear, right? I think it's kind of comical, but it's the way it should be. We have to have our own personal plan so that we can be accountable to our recovery. That's all this means here, and it's beautiful. Go back over your own life and figure out where you need to fill in the gaps on planning so that you can be accountable to yourself and others. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. Talk to you tomorrow.